Hello everyone, I am Krishna Agrawal, an electrical engineering student here at IIT Kanpur. This is my submission for the Godspeed Hackathon. I have created a text to SQL plugin for the Godspeed environment. What this plugin aims to achieve is that it would enable the non-technical stakeholders to interact more easily with the databases without the need to learn SQL queries. This plugin enables natural language to SQL conversion using LLM models. Currently, it leverages the Google Gemini model to convert the natural language to SQL queries uh, and executes them across various database types. Currently, this supports PostgreSQL, MySQL, Mongo, and Oracle. This plugin also has inbuilt caching with Redis, and to use this plugin you would need certain prerequisites. You would need to install the Godspeed Core package, the Google Generative AI package, whatever database you're using, and the Redis for caching. Here's what your environment should look like. You need to have a Gemini API key variable with your Gemini API key, then your database connections, and then the Redis connection. So here is the data source configuration for this plugin, which is text2sql.yaml. It is of type text2sql. This is the configuration. You need to have a Gemini API key, the databases, and the cache, which is enabled by default, and the time is set to as 1 hour. So here's an example configuration for this plugin. You need to have a data source configuration. Then you need to have an event configuration at source event SQL query.yaml. It listens at the HTTP method at this endpoint SQL query. The function it uses is execute query, and the authorization I've disabled, and this is the body and the response. So now the execute query function in YAML, it uses my plugin, and it has two arguments, the query and the database type. The database type by default is Postgres. Here is the execute query function in TypeScript instead of YAML. It uses JS context and plain objects from Godspeed system core, tries to deconstruct the body and get the arguments from there, then uses the data source text2sql and executes the function. On success returns true. If there is any error, it logs that error and returns false. So here is the plugin code. You'd find this code in the index file of this project, and you need to create a source data sources types text2sql.ts and copy the code there. So here's the database setup. I have used Docker to set up my database and Redis. Here is an example of a request body and the response that I got. So let us see it in action. I have created a sample testing project using the Godspeed environment, and I have set up my plugin as I've shown you in the README. So here is inside sources, data source type. I have put in my plugin. This is the code for my plugin. Then here is the configuration for the data source. Then here is an event configuration. It will send you a HTTP method and uses the execute query function. So there will be an execute query.yaml function. The execute query.yaml function has two arguments, the query and the database types. Here is the function in TypeScript instead of YAML. So to run this project, I'll just do Godspeed serve, and it should run at localhost 3000 API talks. This is the default for the Godspeed projects. Here's the Swagger UI, and this was the endpoint of our API. It was a SQL query. So here is an example request. Let us try it out. I have already set up a Postgres database with certain tables to test it out. So let us just get all the table names in this database and execute this. This will take certain time, and then here is the tables list. I have a customers table, an orders table, order item, categories, and products. I can then further ask it to show me all the customer names with. Okay, let's just do this. Show me all the customer names. Then here is the customer names, the first name and the last name. And if I want to know, give me product names with, let's say, amount more than $50. If I execute this, okay, this execution failed. I have robust error logging here. It shows that the total amount does not exist on the type. So instead of this, let me just get give me order details, and I execute this. So to get all the order details, here's order details. I have a total amount in the order table. So instead of products, get me order with amount, let's say with amount more than $1,000. I execute this, and okay, I got the ID 1 and 4 with amount both more than 1,000. So I have also set up a MySQL database just for demonstration. So let me change it to MySQL database and give me the customer details in this MySQL database. I execute this. Now that you have is MySQL, I get an field method stating that customers don't exist. So let me try instead of customer user details. I do not remember what table I made. So let me get the user details. So okay, here's the user detail in this. So there is robust logging here, and I can also show the caching. If I execute the same command again, it should return from, see this, the cache hit, and we just return the cache result. So this is my plugin, which is text to SQL Godspeed. For improvements, I was thinking that we could introduce better query validation techniques, query optimizations. Also, I could expand the database support to include other common databases. Uh, yes, so this is the plugin text to SQL data source for Godspeed environment. Thank you, Godspeed, for this wonderful hackathon.